A very good evening. Thank you so much for tuning into UBC News tonight, today on the 13th of July 2024. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha, joined by Mugalu Mohammed on sign language. In our top stories of the day, President Yoweri Museveni has asked the public servants to be change agents and leaders of socio-economic transformation through wealth creation in the country. The president made the remarks during the closing of a 7-day retreat for ministers, permanent secretaries and National Resistance Movement Central Executive Committee at the National Leadership Institute, Chankwanzi.
But more importantly, why I wanted you to come, especially the permanent secretaries, because the politicians have come here before, the members of parliament, the ministers, but I don't think the permanent secretaries have been here before, this area. Really, the message I want to insist is the issue of wealth creation in the homes. I really don't know how we shall continue to talk about this endlessly, and people just running around, wasting time, talking nonsense, and we just politely try to massage them, but doing nothing. Because if you deal with homestead incomes correctly, you have seen the infrastructure here is very bad. The road is impassable, it's not good. It is remote, very far. I'm glad we have been able to bring electricity because the electricity was not there, but now it has come. You heard how they were talking about the telephones. Now they have telephones. The other man said he could ring people in Tanzania. Then there is water. You heard there's something about some water. But otherwise, the infrastructure is not there. But when we started the campaign near Wakitura, because that's really where I did the work, to change the cattle keepers from traditional cattle keeping to commercial, semi-commercial. I did it mainly around Wakitura. So because these are the same fellows, they had that, oh, people in the Rushere area are getting money. So they would come, then they would copy. The only thing I did here was I gave a bull, a Frisian bull, from my farm, from Wakitura, to the father of the other boy whom they were saying he was chairman, the one who spoke. Just a bull. And when he came and the bulls, everybody copied. They did it on their own. The only thing was the example. So now, of course, they have moved, but they still have a long way. You can see these are potentially very rich people, but they are still underutilizing the land by the free range method. We are now trying to move them free range to the Nyakana model, where you don't do free range, you do intensive farming.
Most, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to you, Your Excellency Mzee, for your support, guidance, and presence at this retreat. This is invaluable, and we are inspired by your dedication to serving our great nation. To you, honorable members of Cabinet, permanent secretaries, your contributions have been instrumental in shaping the outcomes of this retreat. Your expertise, experience, and commitment to public service are the bedrock of our government success. The collaborative spirit you have demonstrated here is a testament to the strength of our administration.
Do appreciate the keynote address and guidance of His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, Chairman of the National Resistance Movement, which centered on the fight against corruption, reflective of the mass approach to embracing the money economy, with emphasis on value addition, commercial agriculture, manufacturing and industry, services and ICT, and his call for all the public service leaders to be change agents and lead the work to socio-economic transformation through wealth creation by household.
Now, our Requiem Mass for the late UPDF officer, Major Opio Patrick Awanyi, has been held at Holy Rosary Catholic Parish Church in Gulu City. The late Major Awanyi, who died in an Al-Shabaab ambush in Somalia early this week, will be laid to rest at his ancestral home in Noya district this Sunday.
It was a somber moment as mourners gathered in Gulu for a requiem mass for the UPDF officer, Major Opio Patrick Awanyi, who died in Somalia recently.
This system, that it is very expensive to be an enemy of God.
The NRM Secretary General Richard Odong referred to his late younger brother as one who diligently served God and humanity. Mechanized Brigade Commander Brigadier Charles Wanyima represented the CDF of Uganda, General Oscar Nirugaba, at the service that attracted hundreds of people.
On behalf of officers and members of UPDF fraternity, and on my own behalf, please accept our heartfelt condolence in this time of grief following the demise of our comrade, beloved son, with the Patrick Awanyi, which occurred on 7th July 2024 while in peacekeeping operation in Somalia. Also, this improvising explosive.
Major Awanyi was described as a dedicated officer who served the army with diligence, as evidenced by his steady rise through the ranks.
The UPDF family extends its sympathy and condolences to the departed comrades' family, relatives, Major Patrick Opio joined the Defense Forces in 2001. He made selfless contribution in defense of his country throughout his service career.
Major Awanyi is renowned for his bravery in countless battles in Central African Republic, Eastern DRC, and most recently in Somalia, where he died serving under the African Transition Mission.
So he joined the army as a cadet officer on the 22nd October 2001 and was later commissioned the rank of second lieutenant in 2002. He took up a course at Nakasongola in line with his career in 2002-2003. He went for the platoon commander course in 2004-2005. That was at Kabamba. He did instructions course in 2005 as an instructor trained in handling military logistics.
Major Opio Patrick Awanyi will be laid to rest in Tangi Village, Porongo Sub-County in Noya District on Sunday 14th July 2024. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayewa, has praised the Christians of Chi Indimitiana for embracing the national resistance movement's vision, of development and prosperity. Tayewa made these remarks while attending the Jubilee celebrations of Sacred Heart Seminary in Mubende District. Take a look.
Sacred Heart Seminary in Mubende District has celebrated 40 years of excellence. The Jubilee celebrations were presided over by Kiyinda Michana Bishop, Dr. Joseph Anthony Zwa.
Kituufu mu biseera bino amasomero mangi mu Uganda weewaawo balina emitendera. Naye tuleme kutwala nti amasomero gabeerewo gakolebwe kuweza muwendo buwendo. Nedda. Amasomero galeme kukolebwa nti omuntu omu oba babiri oba basatu balina ekigendererwa ekyabwe bo nga bo okwekkusa oba kufuna ssente. Nedda. Njagala amasomero okuba amalungi gabeeremu kigambo mu Lungereza nkozesa akagambo doors, ne mu Uganda mukamanyi. Ebyenjigiriza mu masomero bibeeremu kadoozi ka seminaariyo mu by'engunjula.
Deputy Speaker of Parliament Thomas Taiwa attended the event and commended the Christians of Kinda Michana for their commitment to development and prosperity.
So, ekintu ekyebulwenguzi nti tulina kulaba nti twekuba mu abannayuganda batuufu kutunyiiga nga gavumenti zena naye tukirizaganya ne Pulezidenti Museveni nti fena tugenda ku lutalo luno olw'okulwanyisa enguzi ate abajja kusinga kutuwulira yemwe kubanga lutalo lwakununulamu sente zetuba zamwe sente zakuwombekera amasomero zakora amalwaliro zakora enguudo zamwe so mulina kulaba nti muteeka ku pressure netada mukukola ki kuteeka sente omukono.
The seminary, established in 1984 by Emeritus Cardinal Emmanuel Wamala, has played a significant role in shaping individuals and generations.
Abayise mu seminary eno twenyumiriza nnyo okubeera nti tuyise wano kubanga lino tulitwala nga ssomero, tulitwala nga formation center, woyigira byonna.
Members of Parliament, including Hope Kranya Nakaziwe, were also present at the event.
Still, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Taiwa, hailed a long-enduring France-Uganda economic relations that have seen the number of French companies in Uganda grow from 9 in 2010 to 40 companies as of today. He revealed this during the celebrations to mark France National Day, also known as France Bastille Day, at the French residence in Kampala.
Amidst the elegant backdrop of the French residence in Nakasero, Kampala, an atmosphere brimming with festivity and jubilation unfolded as hundreds gathered to commemorate France's National Day, also known as Bastille Day. Laughter echoed through the air, accompanied by the melodic strains of the UPDF band, creating a symphony that resonated with joy and merrymaking.
I'm pleased, therefore, Your Excellency, on behalf of the government and people of Uganda, to join you this evening to celebrate such a significant day, the National Day of France.
The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Taiwa, paid tribute to France's continued investment in Uganda's economic sector.
Noting the nexus between investment and trade, as a government, we welcome the recent launch on 4th July 2024 of the French Chamber of Commerce in Uganda, which aims to increase Uganda-French investment, trade and cooperation.
The remarks come at a time when French companies are currently employing at least 3,000 Ugandans, 30% of these being females.
French companies in Uganda, numbering over 40, such as Total Energies and Lafarge, are today reputed to employ around 3,000 Ugandans and directly contributing strongly to Uganda's revenue through taxation.
The France ambassador to Uganda, Xavier Stika, echoed that French companies will invest at least $4 billion in Uganda over the next 3 years in the areas of energy, value addition, electric mobility, logistics, agriculture, among others.
Over the next 3 years, they plan to invest $4.1 billion US dollars, which is something like 16 trillion Ugandan shillings. France is also a partner of Uganda through the French Development Agency. AFD's portfolio of ongoing projects totals more than 800 million euros, or nearly 3.9 trillion Ugandan shillings, mainly in the water, energy and urban development sectors.
Bastille Day is a pivotal moment that marks a turning point in the French Revolution, signifying the ended absolute monarchy and the beginning of modern French Republic. It is celebrated every year on July 14th. Christmas, Alinitwe, UBC News.
Moving on, the implementation of the Uganda-South Sudan power project featuring a 382 kilometers, 400 kVs Oluyo-Juba overhead transmission line is scheduled to commence in early 2025. Now, the feasibility studies are currently in advanced stages, as you're about to witness by Adia.
The regional coordinator for the Nile Equatorial Lake Subsidiary Action Program, Dr. Isaac Arikwe, has said the Uganda-South Sudan power project is to cost between $2 to $3 million with support from development partners.
This particular budget is distributed between the two countries. Uganda will be given a loan by the African Development Bank of $148 million. South Sudan is going to be given a grant. One portion of the grant will come from the European Union, which is going to provide a grant of about 100 million. Then the African Development Bank is going to give a grant of about 59 million. Then there is a difference of 25 million, which the country must contribute as a sign of ownership to the project.
Power interconnection between countries offers significant economic benefits, such as sharing infrastructure to reduce redundancy and lower overall costs. Investment in large-scale power plants, transmission lines and other infrastructure can lead to economies of scale. This rationale underpins NELSAP's decision to implement the 400 kV power interconnection line between Uganda and South Sudan. Dr. Isaac Arikwe highlighted the numerous benefits the project will bring to both Uganda and South Sudan.
As you know, the electricity access in South Sudan is still at a very low level. The last time I checked, the access was at 7%, and this is the lowest in the region. So this transmission line connecting the two countries will help improve electrification, both urban and the rural. And this will contribute, of course, to socio-economic development, including industrialization within the urban areas and even the rural areas of South Sudan. And towards the same, of course, now with industrialization, economic development, opening up more opportunities, job opportunities and business opportunities for the communities in South Sudan, and even the revenue for South Sudan itself. To Uganda, it would be an opportunity for them to offload the excess energy that they may not need for their local consumption. And of course, that will generate revenue for the Uganda Electricity Transmission Company Limited.
The power line will play a crucial role in the interconnectivity of networks, which is vital for strengthening the African power pool.
That is the Northern Africa power pool and the Eastern Africa power pool, Southern Africa power pool, even the Central Africa power pool. When you connect Ethiopia with South Sudan and you connect South Sudan with Uganda, you have already looped the East Africa power pool. And when you connect Sudan and Egypt to South Sudan and Ethiopia, you've looped it with the North Africa power pool. And when you connect this line through Uganda to Tanzania and then Tanzania to Zambia, you have connected it also to the Southern Africa power pool. This is a very instrumental network that is going to loop. And when you connect the Uganda with Rwanda through Shango Mbarara, you have connected it to the Rusumo networks that is going up to Tanzania. And when you connect it as well with Chango Ngoma, you have connected to the Central Africa power pool.
The Regional Power Program Officer for NELSAP, Engineer Jacob Deng, emphasized the importance of the African power pool in transferring energy resources between countries to spur economic growth and development. Adia Nakuti, UBC.
The Uganda National Oil Company, UNOC, is wholly owned by the government of Uganda and was established to safeguard and promote Uganda's commercial interests in the petroleum sector. UNOC has two subsidiaries, the Uganda Refinery Holding Company, URHC, which will hold a 40% stake in the 60,000 barrel per day refinery and manage the development of Kabalega Industrial Park, and the National Pipeline Company Limited, NPC, in charge of pipelines, storage, and downstream business ventures. This subsidiary holds 15% interest in the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, EACOP. EACOP is a 1,445-kilometer long pipeline that will transport crude oil through 10 districts in Uganda to the port of Tanga in Tanzania. UNOC is also actively engaged in crude oil exploration, development, and production activities, and its participation role includes a 15% stake in the Tilenga, Nwoya, and Bulisa, and Kingfisher development projects, Chikure. UNOC also holds the exploration license for Kasuruban Block in Hoima, Bulisa, and Masindi. UNOC currently owns and manages the Ginger Storage Terminal and will build a 320 million litre capacity terminal in MPG called the Kampala Storage Terminal. At UNOC, we're harnessing the potential of Uganda's petroleum resources, forging a sustainable future and preserving the natural beauty of Uganda. UNOC, your partner in Uganda's oil and gas industry.
Amanya gange nze Namtebi Sharon nga nkolera wano wennyini Saka Kirombe oba Makindye. Empangula gye nawanguddemu ssente mbadde nga nkozesa mobile money nga nsindika school fees w'omwana ku ssomero. Okutegeera nti mpangudde, nze mutima neegambye nti kambalinde bamale okujja ndyoke nzikirize nti mpangudde. Kyenyinza okubagamba nti si byabafere, weewaawo abafere gye bali, naye ennamba eri emu yokka era bw'eba ekukubidde omanya eyo si yabafere. Mpulira bulungi nnyo 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 era ndi musanyufu nnyo. Naye MTN mobile money mbebaza nnyo, mwebale nnyo, mwebalire.
Together, we're unstoppable.
Once upon a time, there lived identical twins who gave birth to beautiful princes and princesses.
Their mothers gave their babies' bodies a lot of care by applying on their skin with baby Junior jelly.
So dried their targets and everyone would admire their glowing skin. Fun fact, baby Junior prevents diaper rash, dry and sensitive skin.
Moms all over Africa love baby Junior jelly. Baby Junior's the skin. No more worries anymore. Boo, 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 boo. Baby Junior.
Baby Junior.
Hey, business people of Uganda, the Uganda National Lottery is here for you. It's the perfect opportunity to boost your business. Zimba your business by becoming an authorized Uganda National Lottery agent. By paying a security deposit of just 250,000 shillings, you will receive your very own Uganda National Lottery terminal, expert training from the pros themselves, and marketing materials to skyrocket your sales. And with a generous 5% commission on every ticket sold, the potential for earnings is limitless. Don't miss out. Act now and call us toll-free at 0800 33 44 33 to see if you qualify. Join us today and Zimba your business. Ituba Uganda is regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. Now, the Minister of Internal Affairs, Major General Kahindo Tafide, has encouraged the youth to lead the fight against corruption. Take a look. We're so sorry about that mishap, but later on in the bulletin at 10 p.m. we'll have a detailed story. Now, women in the fishing industry from East Africa have been trained on the new innovations and processing of fish into a number of unique products to enhance productivity as a way of making their lives better. This was held at the Uganda National Women Fish Organization in Wakiso, where over 40 women attained skills on how to process fish into various products as a way of fighting malnutrition.
The East African Community and Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization are equipping women with skills on making fish powder, fish sambusas, fish fillet, among other products, aimed at increasing productivity.
It won't pour out.
The director in charge of fishing development at Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization, Dr. Edward Lukunya, says that training is aimed at equipping women with hands-on skills in making fish-made products, as well as promoting fish innovations among women.
Multi-value addition among the East African value chain actors, and we've been able to train 32 value chain actors from the silverfish fishery, the Ndagala fishery from Lake Tanganyika, the Nile perch fishery, the tilapia fishery, and we have been able to develop quite a number of products hands-on, ranging from ready to eat and raw products that can be freezed and sold at a later time. But most important to say that this has been a hands-on training.
The president, Uganda National Women's Fishing Organization, Rovisa Kobusingi, has appealed to government to always engage stakeholders when enacting laws on fishing silverfish.
Mukene fishery have been affected because there was this change in the fisheries gear, which was enforced by the Minister of Fisheries, and this has affected our business so much because we cannot fish. We have to reinvest money to buy that new fishing gear, which is very expensive. We don't have experience on how to use it. So we are requesting that government should have dialogue with the private sector before they enforce laws that are going to affect people's jobs, affect people's malnutrition, because now if there is no fish supply, there will not be eggs in the market because chicken have entirely been dependent.
She also affirmed that this kind of innovation will boost business opportunities for women, as well as fighting malnutrition among children.
How to add value to fish and how to make money out of a fish. And the fish is not only the fish from the lake, but we also tell them that fish can be farmed. So once you farm fish, this is how you should be able to make use of it, to have very various products. Mainly, the objectives of this training is to have better incomes in families, also to have better nutrition in homes, and to also have a contribution to the taxes of the economy.
A fish vendor from Kenya, Atieno, expressed gratitude for that training, citing its potential to improve economic well-being for women in East African countries.
We're very grateful, and we have seen that as the East African community, we are working as a team to help us to be able to make sure that our fish is handled correctly to avoid post-harvesting spoilage, and we have been given enough information and all the techniques to be able to use to make sure that all our farmers can be able to have economic empowerment and can be able to make money from fish. We have been taught clearly that it's only fish that world over almost everybody is able to consume fish.
The training attracted women fishers from Uganda, Kenya and Tanzania, among other countries. Deborah Namamonde, Mike Bakabulindi, UBC News.
Welcome back to UBC News Tonight, and in our last segment, Uganda Secondary School Sports Association First Vice President Haji Twa Chitezala says that 5,338 participants have turned up to take part in the USSS SA National Ball Games at 2024. This was during a National Ball Games opening and 100 meters competition held at Sorority Sports Ground, urged schools to use non-bona fide players during the National Ball Games competitions. The Minister of State for Education and Sports, Peter Ogwang, was in attendance.
If you use a non-bona fide player and we don't arrest you, run and thank God that you are still okay. Never come back and petition that you are using a non-bona fide player, you should be forgiven. So in case you meet Justice and his committee and they tell you you have now used the non-bona fide player, go and check yourself. Even don't appeal to commission. I will be ready to welcome you, but I don't have good news for you. If you think you are going to use mothers and fathers to kick these young ones, please forget about it.
I want to thank government and the ministry working with the fraternity of the organizers for the choice of Sorority City, and in this case, the Sokole, to host this national special event. Thank you very much.
And that's all we had for you for now. Do join me again at 10 p.m. for more news coming your way. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha with Mourning on Sign Language.